So let's welcome our guest of the day and let's hear from him that how he achieved his path towards ID, what were the obstacles that he faced. So let's welcome him, everyone.
So hi Saiful, how are you?
Yeah, so I'm good. How are you? How's that like everyone here doing today? So I can start my journey. Like, how can I started my DevOps journey? Like, how I achieved this DevOps role. So so I started my journey like 1.5 year back. When I like when I came to Canada like two and a half year back, and I was working as a network engineer before. So that's what my role. So because most of the jobs right now are looking for DevOps engineer, not for network engineering. So I just started researching on the DevOps, like how can I switch my role from this network to the DevOps. So then I came to there are like a lot of courses you can do on these things. So I joined ThinkCloud at the time, and like I did the AWS course at the time, and that's the biggest things I did there. Like I learned more in the AWS during that course, and thanks Naman, that Naman teach me this AWS, yeah, at the time. So yeah, and then I started, like, the main thing is like you have to be like patience and have to more focus on your goal. That's the main reason. So in LinkedIn you have to make more connections, and more connection means like the good connection who can like the HR and those things to get the interview calls, because the interview calls are important, because you come to know what's the question is going to be in your coming interviews, because most of the question are similar in the interviews. So make the notes of those interview, and that's the I have around 200 or 200 plus interviews question in my Excel right now. So yeah, I make the interviews like questions put in my Excels, and whenever I have an interview, I go those interview questions before the interview. Yeah, and that's what I did in to achieve this. And like I applied more than like 500 and 600 jobs because of the recession. Like last 4 or 5 months, there was like recession. You can't no one is replying at the time, but you can't lose your hope. You just keep applying. That's your job, and the job of HR and the companies, they give you the interview. So don't lose the hope. You will get some, because I applied around like 5 to 6 months continuously for the DevOps role, and I got the call. Like I got the interview calls, and but they are like looking for some seniors roles, and like those are the some senior DevOps engineer. So they have like these are the like, you have to be like patient. That's what I did in this journey.
Oh, thank you, Saiful. I mean, so you applied for the role for 5 to 6 months, and you went
Yeah,
multiple interviews. And
yeah,
after that, you started noting down all the questions, so that you
yeah,
can prepare for the next one. Am I right?
yeah,
So this is the
yes,
best takeaway right now, Saiful, for all our students.
yeah.
That they have to, whenever they attend one interview, they need to write down all the questions, so that next time when they when they are getting into the interview, they are ready at least for those questions and answers, right?
Yeah, and there is also one way to do these things. If you don't want to note the interview, you can record the session. Nowadays, are the other option to record the interview. You can record the interview. There are like a lot of tools who can record the interview. You can use those tools for recording the interview. That's also a best idea if you don't want to make the interviews question.
Yes, exactly, guys. When Saiful says that record the interview, do not record in front of them. I mean, they should not let know
No, no,
that
no, no,
recording
not that.
there. Use some
Yeah,
different tools.
yeah, yeah. They are like like a recording screen, not the interview recording. They're like a tools who record the interviews, like
Yeah,
your in screen recording. So
yeah,
it's like
without
it's
letting
for
them
your help.
know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Exactly.
So yeah, sorry. Like I was not telling about like recording your interviews. Like share, yeah, record your screen. That's what my intention. So
Correct.
yeah,
And
yeah.
Saiful, what were the technologies you actually focused on And what were the major challenges you actually faced during the interview?
Because I don't have that much experience in DevOps, so the main challenge was like, what tool I have to learn, because I never heard about those tools. So the first tool I learned was Jenkins, and then I moved to the, like, not Jenkins, the Git is the first one, because Git is the very small tool you can learn in like 2 or 3 weeks. So that's I learned in Git, and then I learned the Jenkins, and then Docker, and then I learned that Kubernetes, and these are the four tools I learned in my initial phase. And then last is the monitoring one. Then I learned the Grafana. So these are the 5 tools I learned during my this journey. Yeah.
Okay, but
And
but
the challenge, yeah,
yeah, please
yeah,
go ahead.
sure. And the challenges were like, from where I can learn these tools. So the major challenge, where you are going to deploy these tools. The thing is like, where you're going to deploy this tool. So you need some infrastructure, or you need some cloud infrastructure, or you have, or bare metal. So doing that, I learned the AWS, like how can I deploy these things on AWS. So there are like some services which is provided by the your AWS. You can use those services, like, yeah, to deploy your code there. So yeah, so that's why I learned the AWS from ThinkCloud, and like, yeah, ThinkCloud gave me the good material at the time. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember, Saiful, that when you
Mm.
were attending those sessions at that time, you were actually very new to cloud, and
Yeah.
you were having that eagerness to learn, which I think
Mm.
all our student who have joined this Zoom call today, they all have that kind of a spirit. Saiful, sometimes what happens that when you attend few interviews and you get rejected, there is a lot of stress and lot of negativity comes into the mind that I'll not be able to make it, I should look for something
Mhm.
else. So was it the
Mm.
same case with you anytime you started feeling
Yeah, a
bad?
lot of time, lots of time. Yeah, like after the interview, every day I feel embarrassment. Like I was like shy to give the another interview. Like how I'm gonna face that out, because I like first interview asked me something, and I was like totally blank, and like it's like I don't know about this thing. But I note down all those first interview question, and few of that question in the next interview. So I was able to like uh, able to answer those questions in the next interview. But there are few new questions which is I was unaware of those questions. So yeah, so this is the way you learn the things. If you don't jump in the interview, you can't learn the things, like how is it's going to be happen in the next interview. So this is what I learned from the first interview. So yeah, keep on giving interview. That's the best thing, I think. You can achieve your goal most surely, that I know, because I gave around 10 to 11 interview, and like, and then I achieved this job.
Yeah, no, I mean that's actually a right thing, that at any moment you should not feel, or you should not start feeling that I cannot make it, and I should stop doing it. I mean, that is the wrong thing. And the best thing to learn is to attend more and more interviews. Am I right, Sefal?
Yeah, because no one give you the right things about the interview, because you will be coming to know the things from the interview. Because when you are giving interview, like what they are going to ask you, because no one tell you the exact interview experience, because it's totally the stress, and you have to be like make up for those stress. Otherwise you will lose the interview, because if someone is interviewing you, and he came to know like you are stressed, he's not going to give you a job, because this environment is so stressful right now. Because there are a lot of DevOps like technologies coming in the market right now, and people know like if it's stressful, how you're going to handle those things. If something goes in the wrong in the production, like how you're going to handle all those things. If you feel the stress, then you are not going to handle those things. That's the challenge right now.
Exactly.
Like you have to,
Well,
yeah.
yeah, you're absolutely right. I'm sorry to cut you, but even I
Yeah.
have faced this kind of a issue that if you are nervous, right, and if you are
Yeah.
if you are able to show that you are not confident, then the
Hmm.
interview can get into a wrong direction, and
Yeah.
that is the biggest thing, because interviewer is not worried that how much do you know. They are more worried,
Yeah.
will you be able to handle the production work or not. Am I
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's what you're right. Totally right. because yeah, if you are like, everyone know like if you are having any issue, you are going to Google those things. No one have like everything. You didn't get the all the knowledge what needed in DevOps right now. But you, when something is gone, you goes wrong enough something, you are going to Google those things in the during those issues. You are finding those issues solution. So that's what like if you are like stressful, you are not going to put the right things like during the production. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And like, yeah, you're right. Like if you are like stressed during the interview, definitely they are going to reject you, because I faced these things in like 2 or 3 interview.
Okay, okay, got it. I mean, thank you so much, Saiful, for sharing all your journey. And I mean, students, I think, what about you guys? Are you feeling bit confident? And are you confident now after listening to Saiful's story that how he actually made it into IT and into cloud and DevOps? So, guys, how are you feeling, guys? Is it inspiring or not for every one of you guys who have joined us? And guys,
Don't
if you
lose the hope. Yeah,
please
don't
do.
lose the hope. That's the yeah. I know, because it will take time, because if you are switching career from non-IT to DevOps, like it will take time. Surely it's going to be take time, but don't lose the hope. That's what I did in my journey.
Exactly, exactly. So Saiful, we have one question from Sri Charan that this course
Mhm.
alone was good, or we need any extra info to upskill.
So like, yeah, if you want to start your career, you definitely start with some cloud platform, like from AWS or Azure or from GCP. So those are the cloud which is providing the services, which is like the on property service of those clouds, like the cloud provider. So I will definitely go with this thing, like go with this course. And when you go with this course, it's like it will help you to give you like more overview about the what where you want to go, like which next tool you have to learn. So this is what I recommend you go with this course. Yeah.
Okay, and so that we have another question. So what advice would you have for someone with no experience? So Saiful, if you can take that question, I can take the other one.
Uh, Sorry.
Okay, so the question is,
What advice would you? Yes, yes.
what advice
Yeah.
would you have for someone with no experience? Because most of our students, they have no experience into cloud space
Mm-hmm.
or into
Mm-hmm.
DevOps space. So do you think that having no experience can still make it into this space? And I think you are the real
Yeah.
example of it. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely it will have, you can get the job in DevOps, because the main thing is, if you have a, like, if you're fresher, like you just graduated, then I have no idea, but I have like 6+ year experience in networking. So like you can move to DevOps. The question is like, if you don't have any, experience in DevOps, you can learn and you can like put in your resume, like I learned this thing from like I have like working, not working, like I have like did this project. You can make your GitHub repository where you can show up your things, like I did these things to, like I built this project using this pipeline, using these tools, like, sorry. So yeah, it will definitely, you can get the job in DevOps. There are a lot of freshers openings too in the market right now. You can
So
grab
the idea
those.
is that right now the market has a lot of demand, isn't it? I mean, if you look at the number of job opportunities, like there are so many jobs right now in the market, isn't it, Saiful, for DevOps?
Yeah. There are a lot of fresher opportunity right now. You can go with those fresher opportunities. Yeah. So yeah, it's definitely you will get the job. Like there is no, that's what I'm telling you. When you pass your college, and you get like during your college time, you don't think like you're getting the job, because you don't have that much experience in that working environment. But you get the job because you work hard and on those tools, and you showed up those tools to the companies, and when you showed up, like you, and they ask you a question. And the main thing is, if you're learning tool, you should be have the totally grasp on those tools. If you don't have, definitely you will lose the interview, because if you putting anything on in your resume, and like it's fake, and it will not help you to get the job. That's sure. But if you have a experience, if you have some hands-on experience on those things, like you did some labs in your virtual environment, definitely it will help you in your getting a job there in the DevOps environment.
Exactly. I mean, you're right, Saif,
Yeah,
that, attending more and more projects are very important. And also
yeah,
mentioning those projects in the resume is also very important. Yeah. And Brand, one more thing that, after this AWS, you have like multiple chain of courses which you can attend to upskill yourself. People go for AWS, then they go for DevOps, then they go for security, then they go for Scrum Master. There are like plenty of courses which you can keep upskilling yourself. It totally depends on you that how much time you have and what area you want to focus on, and according to that you can choose the next course. Okay. But I think even Saiful started his journey with AWS, and that is something which we also recommend, that starting with cloud is very important before you get into DevOps space, isn't it, Saiful?
yes, because if you don't know where you're going to deploy your the infrastructure, like the main thing is the infrastructure. So where you are going, the main job of DevOps engineer is to maintain those infrastructure and make the pipelines to make it like to running to automate those applications. So if you don't know where you are going to deploy your application, that's a big challenge now. So if you don't know AWS or Azure or GCP, any of the those are those three are like similar. They have a different naming convention only. So but every cloud provider have the same concept, and everything is same. If you learn AWS, definitely you can work in Azure or GCP because those are similar things. So yeah, start learning with AWS cloud or some cloud providers, and yeah, then you can scale it up. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, Saiful. Let's congratulate Saiful to achieve this journey and achieve this role. Let's everyone, can we please congratulate Saiful, who actually made it into IT and into cloud and DevOps space, which was becoming impossible because I used to chat with Saiful in between, and but today Saiful has already done that. So congratulations, Saiful, and we will always be in touch. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. And thank you, everyone.
Thank you for watching. Switch from non-IT to IT today. Explore www.thinkcloudly.com.